Get away any day at Bahama Breeze and enjoy signature island favorites like our jerk chicken pasta, coconut shrimp, or tequila sunburned salmon. Plus, don't miss happy hour with $5 drinks and half-price appetizers, only at Bahama Breeze.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Retro Pop Planet, and welcome to another car intro. I am so ready for spring. It just snowed here again in Virginia yesterday after an 85-degree day, and now it's in the 40s. I am so ready for spring that I am going to the Bahamas, specifically the Bahama Breeze, an island-themed grill, and I didn't even realize this place was here. We're right next to Potomac Mills in Woodbridge, Virginia. And if you saw my Mac Tonight video, the McDonald's video that I did several months ago, that was actually right there. And I actually picked this restaurant up in some of the background footage and I didn't even realize it. So I can't remember how I actually discovered this restaurant, but it was probably on a blog or on Nextdoor or something along those lines. Bahama Breeze Island Grill was actually founded in Orlando, Florida in 1996, and it's owned by the Darden Restaurant Group, which of course owns Longhorn Steakhouse and Olive Garden. And they have decided, after years of declining sales, they're going to be closing the remaining 14 restaurants that they own. I believe at one time they had a peak of about 38 around the country. And from a little bit of the research that I've done, this is the last location, or the only location rather, in Virginia. And it's here in Woodbridge, Virginia. And we're right off of Interstate 95. Well, speaking of spring, I was actually in the real Bahamas 2 years ago for spring break. I was on a cruise. We went to Nassau and then we went to Bimini, and it wasn't that warm. The Bahama Breeze in the morning was somewhere, I think, in the low 50s, and it did heat up during the day, but the water was super cold. So at least I know in the Bahamas, it wasn't all that warm, and I don't really know what to expect with this food. It's a Caribbean themed grill. I will say though, the food I had in the Bahamas wasn't really that memorable. At the Atlantis Resort in Nassau, I had a sandwich. It was like a pre-made deli sandwich that came in a plastic container, and a bag of chips and a bottled soda. And I remember specifically in the resort, there was actually a Five Guys restaurant. So we decided we didn't want another burger because we had eaten burgers on the cruise ship. And so we decided to roll with a sandwich. And then in Bimini the next day, I had a hot dog. That was the only option available at the food stand. So a hot dog and a bag of chips. That's been the extent of my Bahamian food expose. And it is March 13th, the day that I am recording, so they're closing in about 2 weeks. And I've seen online that they're actually converting to other Darden properties. I don't know how that's gonna work. I have a feeling they're gonna sell this building or turn it into a Longhorn, because there's an Olive Garden already, like right over here at the intersection to this strip mall. I can't catch a break either. The wind has just picked up, so let's go inside, and hopefully the Caribbean breeze is a little bit nicer than out here in the car. It's kind of loud in here, and they're playing Latin music, so, but here's the menu, and of course they have a bunch of like drink options. I'm just going with a soda, Dr. Pepper, my usual. Feel free to pause the video to take a look at the menu. Unfortunately, the music was so loud that my microphone was spazzing, but I was pleased with how diverse the menu is. I went to the website before coming down here, so I knew that they had lunch combos. I'm sure this place has a cool vibe during happy hour. I picked out the coconut shrimp tacos online, but my waitress sold me on the seafood chowder for my side dish. But when I saw conch fritters as an appetizer, I had to have those as well. I thought it was weird that they were still rolling out new options if this place is donezo at the end of the month, but that pork chop, the ribs, and that skirt steak were sounding really nice. Sorry I'm not going with some fun themed drink, but I needed the caffeine since this is a work day. I fully anticipate I'm going to get copyright flagged. The music in here is all over the place. The restaurant here is actually pretty small. They do have a big outdoor seating area. I looked up some of the other restaurants online and they look to be much larger than this space is. I would say that the dining room is not full, but there are quite a few more people in here than I would have anticipated for lunch on a Friday. This restaurant is actually giving me more cruise ship vibes than fun beach themed island vibes. I'm not sure if that's intentional. Aside from some decent theming in here, the decor is a little kind of generic, I would say. All right, now I'm ready to start the weekend. They're playing now Hot, Hot, Hot by Arrow, and I'm ready to go to the islands. And then there's an older family that's sitting not too far from me, and they are having a riot. I thought they were hitting the drinks, but they're just drinking sodas also. Wow, the conch fritters just arrived, and these look awesome. They're served with what appears to be a tropical chutney. All right, first bite. They smell great. Yeah, these are definitely hitting the spot for me. I like these a lot. I think the last time I had conch fritters were at the Hog's Breath Saloon in the Florida Keys. Probably I think that was like 2012, so it's been a long time. I don't even know where you can buy these other than maybe frozen online. I'm gonna get the rest of the fritters to go because the main just arrived and it looks pretty good. So it's a seafood chowder of some sort and then the coconut tacos. I don't really know what's in this, but it looks to be potatoes, clam, maybe shrimp. Yeah, there's definitely a hint of clam, maybe like a white fish and possibly shrimp. Yeah, it basically just tastes like a spicier clam chowder. All right, I want to try these shrimp tacos before they start to get cold. It's just personal preference, but I tend to prefer like a softer shell taco, but there's a really good combination of like sweet and savory with these tacos, and that slaw is really nice too. I don't know what kind of sauce that is, but it's very light. It's not real thick. It's good. Ooh, I just got a really big hit of like sweet ginger, and it's nice. I like these. It doesn't even need this. It doesn't need it at all. All right, leaving with my leftovers, and they're playing Marley now. And here's that outdoor section I was talking about. All right, guys, we did it. That was the Bahama Breeze in Woodbridge, Virginia. And shout out to Shabuzi. We're less than a mile from where he went to high school. I wonder if he'd ever been to this restaurant. Guaranteed he grew up hanging out at Potomac Mills Mall. And I will be honest, I didn't really know what to expect going into this, and I was pleasantly surprised. That restaurant was actually pretty good. The food was great, and the employees were all really nice. That's what always bums me out when these places close, is thinking about the employees. Hopefully the Darden Group is going to move them to another location. It's pretty hard to pull off island vibes in a restaurant in a suburban strip mall off of the interstate. I think they did an okay job. The music was actually on point. It was like being on the Lido deck of a cruise ship. The interior was a little dull and drab. It definitely screamed 1990s Polynesian. I bet if it was a bit of a lighter space, it would have felt a little bit more inviting. There was a steady stream of people coming in and out. I wonder how many of them know that it's actually closing. And the employees, none of them were acting like anything was unusual. Just seemed like another work day. And I was being a bit facetious in the beginning. I've been all through the Caribbean and have enjoyed fantastic local meals. But for whatever reason, authentic island fare doesn't do well in Northern Virginia. Several of my favorite mom and pop restaurants have closed over the years. Here we are 2 weeks from the finale of the Bahama Breeze. I do have some swag. The waitress said go ahead and take, the little coaster things. It actually, I think, has the recipe for the drink on the back. which is kind of neat. Maybe you can recreate this at home. And I also have the to-go bag. Like, honestly, what am I gonna do with this? Probably nothing, but I don't know. Anyway, the Bahama Breeze, we did it. Rest in peace. I feel like this is becoming a little bit too much of a thing that I'm doing. Everything's closing. I'm just trying to document as much of it as I can. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a like. If you like this kind of stuff, I've been doing a lot of it recently. Please make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with what we're up to. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.